tell us, I understand you've been doing various things on your week off because it's never a week off at Sale. So can you tell us some of the extraordinary things you've been doing with the boys?
We did a bit of team building stuff, little bit of bonding. North Wales is quite close to us here. It's miles away from London, but when you're in Manchester, it's only a couple of hours off. So we walked up Snowdon in the dead of night without any lights and managed to avoid injury. So we got away with it. And we're that little bit stronger and that little bit wiser for it. I don't think we'll be doing it again, but it was an experience.
So you counted them out and you counted them back?
Yeah, we had some SBS and some SAS guys and some other Royal Marines who helped us with the experience to make sure that we got up and down the mountain in one piece.
I take it you're going to tell us you didn't take Manu up?
No, we didn't. And unfortunately, because he's been training for it, he's the one person who probably would have survived it and actually excelled in it. Because, as you know, I've been walking with him, but we didn't want to risk him. He was getting a decent night's sleep and getting on with his rehab, so he's as fit as can be for this weekend. Oh, provided he's selected, of course.
Yeah, can we talk to the gratuitous Manu selection question?
Yeah.
Is he fully up for selection?
Yeah, he certainly is. Well, he is. He is up for selection on the caveat that, as I've said in the past, this is not something we want to rush. It really isn't. So take from that what you will in terms of the minutes that he could play if he was selected.
Great, thanks, Alex.
So, hi Alex, just to follow up on that, would you then be reluctant to put him straight into the starting 15, thinking that the length of time he's had off?
Maybe, Duncan. Maybe I'd be reluctant. Yeah, of course, I would be reluctant. And well, I wouldn't. I played Lude, didn't I? I started Lude when he was out for 10 months, but a lot of it's taken on advice from the physio staff, the medical staff, and his own feeling of confidence going into the game. So for me, yeah, I'm like I've said in the past, I'd back him to go on the Lions tour, but you've got to take it on the recommendation of more experienced players and himself, of course. So.
Sure. And what sort of shape is he in?
He's in great shape. He looks massive. I'm not out of shape massive, just strong as a bull. The lads were doing some live tackling today, and he basically gave him a bit of a bump. I had to stop running because he was just running through him in the live tackling. So it's really exciting to see. Yeah, he looks scary out there, scary, powerful.
Okay, good. And just on the night walking, so can you just explain a bit? What was the thinking behind that as a team building exercise? What kind of things do you learn?
We did some other high adrenaline activities as well, all of which were to get them out of the comfort zone, for them to communicate, to get up and down the mountain with various degrees of physical ability, to make sure that we all get up there together, that we all get down there together, and that on the way, it just got them talking in groups and circles that they wouldn't usually communicate with in a normal training environment. And on the flip side, like, they've trained for 10 months, and I'm pretty certain every other team was doing pretty much the same thing they've been doing for the last 10 months. And if you want to do something special, you've got to do something different. So that was the philosophy behind it. Whether or not it's going to pay dividends, we'll see this weekend. I have a feeling that we were tighter than we were before we left. For all the reasons I've just mentioned. And for me, that's the most important thing going into this business end of the season. What's that you've got there, Neil? Is that a cat's tail? What's flying around in your screen there?
There's no cat, it's just a tail.
Well, don't be playing with your pussy on camera.
Is that quotable?
You do what you like at your house.
Thanks, Alex. Cheers.
Yeah, no worries.
Alex, is your hope that having kept everyone together up and down a mountain, you can keep everyone together on a rugby pitch? If you follow my disciplinary related.
Yeah, that was also part of the remit of the guys that we went with to understand discipline. Look, if we lost one person through dicking around at night, when we had no torches, so we had to feel our way up a mountain. If we lost one person, we would have lost 6 or 7 of the players and 2 or 3 of the support staff. If we lost 2, we're all off the mountain. And this was stated to them quite clearly on our way to the mountain. So that was part of the reason for doing it as well, just part of it.
Because obviously that's been you've almost sort of tried to be a bit tongue-in-cheek how you've reacted to it, but it's been an ongoing thing, recent matches. Is your hope that the pattern will change?
Yeah, if I've been a bit tongue-in-cheek, because I've smiled about it, it's probably because we've got away with it. I feel like we've got away with it. But in actual fact, we haven't. We've won 9 out of 11 matches where we received 21 yellow cards and played over 3 hours of rugby. You know the stats. So that's not a fluke. That can't be a fluke. We've actually got something special here where when our back's against the wall, they tend to galvanise and energise. So that's a really strong behavioural trait that I want to keep hold of. I'd just rather have that mentality with 15 men on the field. And I apologise if I'm taking it lightly. It is important. Discipline is important, and it's something that we want to improve upon. We mentioned it today in the meeting today. Moving forward, I just feel that we're going to be tougher to beat with 15 on the field. So it's something we've talked about. But there's 2 ways you can look at discipline. And when you talk about discipline, people automatically think to the negative, to they've been a victim of ill discipline, to the yellow cards, the stuff that you're talking about. The flip side of it, if you shift your mentality, is how you can use your discipline as a bridge to attain the goals you want to achieve. So you look at the positive codes of behaviour rather than the negative. Are you with me? So I haven't tried. As soon as you start saying we can't give away penalties, can't give away yellow cards, that's the first thing you think about. The ill discipline, the poor behaviour. But if you focus on the positive attributes, the energy, the life that they have when they had 13 men, if you got that with 15, then that'll negate the ill discipline and the yellow cards anyway. So I've been trying to focus on the positive side of using discipline as a bridge to your goals as opposed to addressing the ill discipline, which is almost too late when it comes to it.
Just a last one from me, just given the nature of the opposition this week and what they're capable of in attack from all over, you're going to need that sort of fighting spirit you've shown and the desperation and scrambling and what have you, more than ever, I guess, in this fixture. Yeah,
definitely. We try not to look too far ahead because you could probably lump Quins and Exeter in the same bracket, but no one as good, no one as proficient, no one as effective as Bristol when it comes to playing with the ball and handling the ball. So that's been a big focus for us. All of that scrambling, needing that life, that energy, that togetherness. It's quite exciting, isn't it?
Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks, Chris.
Alex, obviously this is a big game in itself, but is there also a quarter of an eye on it could be a game further down the track as well? You're going to be holding anything back, any calls or anything?
No, definitely not. I don't think you can. The more you throw at them, the more you put the emphasis on this game, the more they've got to think about it down the track as well. So for me, you just got to go out and you've got to try and aim to win every game and throw everything at it that you've got. Maybe if you're playing back-to-back, and that might be the case if we're lucky enough down the line with Exeter. But for right now, it's just getting into the quarterfinals, and going for Bristol.
You won there, obviously. Does that help for this game?
Maybe in a bit of confidence for the boys to know that we can. I'd like to think we're a bit of a different team, a bit of a different organisation. That's quite early doors. So we've looked at how far we've come since then, over the last couple of weeks, and we've got the addition of a couple of players and the admittance of a few as well. So I don't think you can take too much from that game, and it was a rainy night, and they'd missed a lot of players as well. I don't think you can take too much from that, apart from general processes and styles of rugby.